Make it make sense. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had some technical difficulties, but we're here now. We had to do this open panel because I saw so many of y'all who heavily defended Chrisean and so many of you guys who heavily condemned her and her behavior. So we got to talk about it. Definitely hit that like button as the intro plays. I have a feeling you guys just might like this one.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Person I follow, what is it called? Make it make sense. There's a little guy, make it make sense.
I make it make sense. Are you being nice tonight?
To quote a great media outlet, make that make sense. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Make It Make Sense.
Make it make sense. You knew what was up.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it.
You implied that.
I said what I said.
Okay, well, what you said was some bull.
But you don't.
Okay, so thank you guys for being here. This is definitely gonna be an open panel, but we got to talk about a few things first. I really do think that this Chrisean Tamar being too good to be associated with the likes of Chrisean is some BS. To be honest with you, this is who Tamar is. Now, she's not all the way Zeus baddie, but Tamar has a little bit of edge to her. And we've seen it. She's never going to be a Chrisean, right? I'm not saying that. But I do feel like I told you guys, she invites people to her concerts to make a mark. She doesn't care if there's any drama involving them. And for that, she is culpable in the sense that you invited this into your concert and into your space. She is in no way responsible for Chrisean's actions against James Wright Chanel. I wanted to say that. And I also, we gotta go back to old Tamar and some of her best work. And that would be this. This version of Tamar is absolutely how I envision Tamar day to day.
What does that mean?
You are disruptive. You are abusive, Tamar.
Really?
You are violent, Tamar. No one can say anything.
And you're just condescending and hypocritical. That is
this. Iyanla tried to tell us.
wrong.
Nobody.
You cannot just throw out names like that.
I'm real clear about what I'm experiencing.
Very clear about my experience as well.
Okay, but I have a right to my experience.
And I have a right to detest your experience.
Do you want to do this?
Do you?
My favorite that has to get added to the intro. Do you want to do this? Do you? Is very reminiscent of what's up, sipping the Monty. I see you in here. We got a celebrity in the house. If you don't really know who the players are in this, I'll let you know, because a lot of people didn't really know who Chrisean was. I'll say this: Chrisean and Blueface are the 2023 Jocelyn and Stevie J. Jocelyn and Stevie J walked so that Chrisean and Blueface could run. If you ever needed to know who, not Tamar, is me. Okay, so let me give you guys just a little tiny bit of behind the scenes tea that I heard, and hopefully this person can come forward and give it to you guys on their channel. But a little behind the scenes tea information is that James does not want to press charges at all. I do not agree with him. I think the police should have been called expeditiously, in the words of T.I. He does not want to press charges. Now I can't tell you where I heard that from, but trust and believe. Okay, so if you don't remember or really know what's going on, I did a little bit more research onto Tamar's best friend. He's low-key been in the industry for a while.
Whoever want to get mad at me can get mad at me. Y'all got to stop. First of all, let me tell you about this ghetto, disgusting gutter butt. I don't even want to call her a girl. First of all, she's trash. She should have never been at my show. So she come to Tamar concert, which I planned, and I will say.
So he's the first person. When we go open panel, I want you guys to let me know if you felt that he was wrong for calling her trash. I saw a lot of people who condemned him. A lot of people, Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, as they posted it, were going off on him, calling him a lot of homophobic words, all kinds of stuff, because they did not like that he called her trash. Well, I'm sorry. I called her behavior trash. I typically don't call people trash, but her behavior to me was definitely trash behavior. But that's gonna be a topic for discussion when we bring it up.
That drunk with 1,000 people smelling like weed, looking dumb, okay? And so she makes music. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And apparently she wanted to drop a beat. So she was mad that she didn't get to perform. I didn't know she was a performer. And even if I did know she was a performer, she was not getting on the stage that everybody has worked their ass off to make. So she called, first of all, y'all see the video. She was up there a drunk fool. Okay?
Okay, so now we have the videos of her being the drunk fool. Shout out to Layla Lynn. She's absolutely one of my favorite people on YouTube and in real life.
Singing Love and War. And this is Chrisean. She's added in here or there her little yes and what have you. And it doesn't look awful. I wouldn't say she ruined the show. It just looks out of place. It looks out of place. But again, you heard Tamar ask her, was she coming to the stage? But there's a time and place for everything, and it was the wrong time and it was the wrong place. She was supposed to come to the stage, but just make an appearance, not perform. And I showed you guys yesterday the footage of Chrisean trying to perform, telling them to turn the lights out so she can perform and what have you.
So awkward. Secondhand embarrassment. I don't like this man or totally believe him. That's exactly why we're doing open panel. We got almost 600 people in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. And while we're here, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Honest to God. Thank you guys for being here. I want to show you something that I woke up to this morning before we continue. Just really, really quickly. Took me completely off guard. But you guys, we are now 75,000 people strong. That is absolutely crazy. We are literally 75,000 people strong. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in your space for the amount of time that y'all allow me every day or whenever you watch. Thank you so, so, so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. But okay, let's get back to the mess. Oh, where is it? Okay, here we go.
In this video, because they're saying that Chrisean was harassing the backup singers. This is Mr. L. Davis, the guy that spoke out, and this is what happened when he was presenting Tamar with the cake because it's the anniversary of her Love and War album.
And so we got when it comes, they told us we had these small rooms. And so
Look at Chrisean in the back, y'all.
And so we got you this cake, this Love and War cake. We're so proud.
Why is she putting her hands on this woman, y'all? And then the woman is trying to be nice, casually touch her, but you can tell she's bothered by it.
Y'all ain't never been to Tamar's house, but I have. And there's something that's missing at her house on her walls. And so as successful as she's been, She doesn't have any gold or platinum.
Again, that gives you a little insight into what people were saying. She was drunk. She was belligerent. She was out of place. Still, though, you invited this into the space. You invited Zeus Network to this performance. What do you expect to get? You're going to make, let me say this to you, Tamar, not that you'll see this, but first off, your Love and War tour, it was already sold out. You had a moment where you took the stage with your sister while you were the headliner. That should have been the legacy behind your LA performance. Nothing to do with Chrisean. You did not need any gimmicks to make headlines. That in itself was enough because you have a fan base that really loves you. Doesn't matter how big the venue sizes are, they were all sold out, which means you were the headliner. This was your moment. And now, because you have invited Chrisean into the space, the bigger moment is what happened there. And that is sad. And that in itself should convince you to do better moving forward. But let's get into what James had to say. Let's see. Shout out to Mr. L's Living.
Everybody want to tell stories and tell their versions and they side of the stories and blah blah blah. Child, I was an innocent bystander. You know, you still gotta keep joy in stuff. So yeah. I don't know what be wrong with people. I really don't. I really don't.
I don't think James wanted to do this, y'all.
All I did was went to work, child. I went to work and did my job. But let me tell y'all, I love y'all. And I thank y'all for supporting me. And I just thank y'all for having my back. And y'all already know what type of person I am. And all that good stuff. And yeah.
Not that sigh in his ear.
I would definitely. Troy. Because I got to cancel work today. I have work today. I had 2 jobs. I had to sing today and I had to cater. And I had to cash at me because I missed my job today. So somebody owe me. Y'all don't. But let me put my cash.
Tamar and Chrisean. Those are who owe you. Tamar and Chrisean.
Yeah, because I need child. I'm an independent contractor. I need cash apps. I missed out on work today. Cash app is hit. Sorry.
Now, I get this is for his fans, but he knew going live would definitely bolster his Instagram and his fans would be able to support him in this. But if Troy were really supporting you in this, then he would have made Tamar start paying you for that. Just saying. If Troy or LaTroy was your friend, he would not be convincing you to get online, talk to people, and ask for a cash app. He would be, he is trying to convince him to press charges, but that to me was a little strange. I'm not going to cash app you till you press charges. You press charges, you'll get a cash app. That's it. That's the only way it's going to happen for me. Shout out to Q, the content guy. He says, congratulations, hard and working man on YouTube. Thank you so much, Q. Q's been around for a minute. I really appreciate you. Really BTV, James just needs to say it plain. Definitely give me some money. Y'all all in my business. Now pay me for my pain. Now I'm not going to make her pay me for the pain. I bet you what it is because she has such a big following. He probably doesn't want backlash for if he puts her in jail. Because yes, she is on probation. You weren't thinking about the baby when you were hitting this man, so go straight to jail. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. Go straight to jail. Tremaine Rucker, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. We got like 900 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button.
Hello. What happened?
He does sound like maybe he was on a pain pillar.
I still got jokes. Let me tell you what ain't nobody gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna take my joy. Ain't nobody gonna take my praise. Ain't nobody gonna take my worship. I just did it, Troy. Ain't nobody gonna take my worship. And let me tell you the crazy thing in this whole situation. Y'all should see my fucking face. Y'all should see my fucking face. So let me just tell y'all this, because everybody want to tell stories and tell their versions and they side of the stories and blah, blah, blah. Child, I was an innocent bystander.
So that was his version. This is Chrisean's.
What was miscommunicated or what was plotted against me, but I was supposed to perform. And that was that.
Plotted against you? Tamar was happy as hell that you were there. It was the fans and everybody else who was mad.
The other... You want something about it? Oh, some Gatorade, please.
Now, y'all, does she just have a custom car or does she have the Rolls Royce Star roof? Is she driving a Rolls Royce?
Gatorade. Is it Gatorade? Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. The more famous I get, the more tricky this shit get. Like, usually when I get invited out to perform at a show, I'll let you say, like, oh, yeah, okay, you're going to perform after this set, blah, blah. Like, Sexy Red, Glorilla, like, not like that, but I've been brought out before, and I know how it goes a certain way. I did have my team there, but it wasn't like we was in her room together. I went alone and stuff, so, yeah, y'all saw how I was on live. I was by myself. I wasn't with my team. My team was outside waiting. Just waiting until, I don't know, it was time to work, you know? So that's what that happened. All this other false narrative saying this happened, she did that. I don't know what that, I don't know. I think it's just a clout chasing thing. So honestly, I have to start protecting my name when I don't know.
A clout chasing thing. There's no accountability for her behavior. No, you invited me into a space and I should not have been drunk. We're not getting that from her. I'm telling you guys, I really do feel like part of it is, I really do feel like she has some challenges. And I'm trying to be nice about how I say it. I really do feel, and I'm not talking about how she came up. I'm just saying I do think that there are some developmental challenges. Maybe, you know, comprehension isn't there. I'm trying to be nice about it, but there's something there. And, you know, it's no excuse for her behavior, but if a person has been paid to, you know, bust people in the head and curse and fight, and they are continuously rewarded, what's the expectation? She does not know the difference between embarrassing yourself on stage, or she thinks that embarrassing herself on the stage and twerking and bending over is the right path. I'm telling you guys, she had a much better future before she got into the industry. This was Chrisean pre-industry. This was Chrisean pre-industry.
Your husband. I love you.
That was Chrisean pre-industry, like literally. And this was her after she got in the industry. So, you know, you have to be held accountable for your own actions. If you hit that man in the face and cause him to lose work, not only does he need to press charges on you, he needs to sue you. If you're out here and you can get, you know, a couple $1 million home and all this kind of stuff, and you have jewelry on every like finger, always decked out in gold, then you need to be accountable if you hit this man. But okay, let's continue with what she had to say.
I don't know how you step in situations like that. So it had nothing to do with Tamar. It was some other shit. Like the guy that's talking about how he put it together, he didn't put anything together, and I never talked to him. I directly talked to Tamar. She communicated that I could come out, and that was that. I don't know who that guy is because I never talked to him. That he not gay, but he like whatever. He like boys. Him, I don't know how you say. I don't want to be rude, like, cause I'm not on this. I don't know what's going on and why niggas popping it like I'm not just a female, like. And the clout chasing shit is kind of is getting out of hand.
What does that mean? Why are they popping it like you're not a female? Here's the thing. If James would have decked you back, it would have been a whole different story. It would have been, James would be, if he had hit this girl back or really laid into her the way she laid into him, he would be canceled right now. He would be canceled. We got to call the thing a thing.
So, but nah, it was nothing between me and Tamar. It had nothing to do with any of that. But I don't know I don't know. It was just.
You don't know because you were drunk. Say that. Say the truth. You're not saying she's talking about LaTroy. She's not talking about James. You see this girl's face? There is no marks on her face. No marks on her face. The only person who was hospitalized was James. That's what you should be talking about. Accountability is everything.
It's like wicked stuff started happening, and then I don't know. And then I let that go. I went to a party.
Wicked stuff started happening. The fuck? The wicked stuff started when you popped this man in the face.
Went back home to my kid, nigga. But like, I had fun. What I don't get is the storytelling. Like, why everybody storytelling? Y'all got all the videos of us.
Y'all, it's like, it's something out of like Dr. Oh my God. It's like Humpty Dumpty has just, I feel like we're listening to Humpty Dumpty. She's now using verbiage from the Disney Channel. Wicked and storytelling. What are we doing here? You're not saying anything about hitting this man.
Cheering, praying, y'all was posted that. Post the other shit y'all talking about because everything is recorded and documented. So. They tripping on me, my boy.
Yeah, y'all. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the link. This is open panel. Everybody can come up. If you're a Chrisean fan, I definitely want to hear from you. Make me understand. Definitely. Make me understand. Okay, so this was some more funny stuff though, y'all. Where is it? Is it this one? Okay.
Damn. 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 So, wait a light there. Can you turn the missus off? Oh, Bishop. Hi, the light. Hi, how you doing? Yeah.
There was love shown. They were embracing each other. He was just drunk.
Black, black, black. Stay bars who they are. Tamar Braxton, what are you talking about?
But it's her brand, and this is what she was invited to do. So I'm here. I mean, this is what you wanted. That's it. I can't fault her for behaving and for being her. If you invite Chrisean Rock to your performance, somebody might get hit. I blame Tamar. Now this, y'all, this one we got to dig into Tony a little bit. Y'all saw this, right? The face Tony gave her. I was cracking up. Look at Tony. Like, what are you doing? Why is she here? Why is she here? However, y'all, I gotta dig into Tony a little bit. Because Tony, you can't feel like she's beneath you and you with Birdman. Birdman is a 50-year-old goon. Literally, Birdman is a 50-year-old goon. Chrisean twerking and attacking this man, but you got a whole goon that you call your boo thing who has went to somebody like a YouTuber, Instagrammer, an influencer who's been like cracking jokes at him and snatched his chain. You can't look down at her and not look down at the dude that's in your bed. And then he posted the chain to let people know that he had snatched the chain. So Tony, I don't know that this behavior is beneath you because this is who you laid up with. Now, granted, somebody said leave Tony alone. No, they're still together. Whatever. Anyway, okay, so I see the backstage is full. Y'all, I'm just playing with Tony. I love Tony to death. It was just a joke. I literally do love Tony. I think Tony is one of the classiest people. One of the classiest performers out there. Her story is great. 2-time cancer survivor. I'm just joking. I absolutely love Tony. So Andrew Mack, don't get me. Don't get me. No, I love Tony. We don't talk ill of Tony. Okay. Oh wow, the backstage is packed. Okay. So I'm gonna add a few of y'all at a time because I want to be able to hear everybody. So we got Really B, we got Naomi, Star, and Callie. We'll start off here. Hey y'all.
Hey.
Who you want to start, Really?
Hey everyone.
Sure. I just want to say that I feel like first of all, I am wore out. This story has wore me out. I did about 4 videos yesterday, but I feel like for me, I really need Tamar to speak on it, and I really need James to speak on it. Not that they owe us, like I don't need him to show me his face and all of that, but I feel like if she didn't do it, they need to clear her name. And if she did do it, they need to put the information so we can say what needs to be said and move on. I think it's not fair to all parties involved that you just let this hang there if it's not true. And if it is true, and if it went down like that, then, well, first of all, I need James to press charges, but who am I to tell somebody what to do? But there really needs to be some consequences. So that's where I am with it at this point. At this point, I'm done with the back and forth. You know, LaTroy, I think, is really upset because he put it out there and he feels like nobody had his back and they sort of left him hanging out there all day. But I truly feel like they were told not to say anything. I think that they were told not to say anything, and he went against that and he spoke on it, so they left him hanging.
Do you think that, or should people be maybe potentially going to your channel for some inside information?
I don't have a confirmation on that yet.
Okay. But I'll say it. Really B has some inside information, y'all. So you might want to just swing by her channel at some point while she's covering these stories. See, you know. Anyway, continue, Really.
No, I mean, I do have some inside information, but when I can confirm it, I will definitely confirm it. But let me just say, I have a strong suspicion that was the edict, was we're not going to say nothing. And he went against that. And now he's being left out there to sort of deal with it.
Naomi, I know you got a counter.
No, I agree with everything she's saying because we actually don't have any solid concrete proof yet. We just have what this guy is saying, and he's obviously upset about something. But I just want to say, firstly, like if you see videos of her when she comes out, like the whole crowd went crazy. Everybody loved Chrisean when she was on stage. Everybody was loving it. She actually brought out like the energy when she came on. People were going crazy for her. They loved it. They had a good time. So now, I don't like that. Like now they're trying to like twist it and make it seem like people like didn't like her being there or something. Like the whole crowd was going crazy when she came out. And I just want to know why there's like so much double standards, because when Will Smith literally slapped somebody on live air at the Grammys or the Oscars, wherever it was, like everyone was like, no, he can't get charged, whatever. But now everybody wants Chrisean to go to jail. Like, it's like double standards. Like, why? Because she's a young, pretty girl. You guys want her to go to jail? We don't even know the situation. We don't even know if she was like, we don't know if she was being verbally assaulted by that guy. Like, we have no idea what made her react to like that way, if that's what happened. You know what I mean? Why are people so quick to be like, send her to jail, but nobody was like, send Will Smith to jail?
Okay, I don't know if these are the two separate scenarios. We saw what Will Smith did, and I don't know anybody who was saying don't send him to jail. I saw people saying press charges on him, kick Jada out.
No, nobody was saying that.
Yes, they were.
I covered it. I covered it
Yeah,
live
like
last night. The
the majority of people were saying not to send him to jail, though. Of course, there was people that were saying, oh, I'm traumatized, like that Wenda girl. But obviously, the majority of people were like, Will Smith cannot go to jail. Like, come on now. That wasn't the consensus for him to go to jail.
Behind the scenes, what actually happened was Will Packard convinced the Oscar people, Chris Rock, to move on with the show and not kick him out so that he could still get his Oscar. Everybody was for him to get the hell out.
Yeah, but him being removed and him going to jail would have been two different things. They could have escorted him out the property, but I just don't understand where this strong, like, people really want Chrisean Rock to go to jail. Like, why?
I do have some.
Hold on, really quick now. Allie, hold on one second. What I will say is this is not baddies. It's not her and Blueface's show where they are paid to do this. You're at an event where you are a guest. And I firmly believe that James did not assault her. We saw no marks on her. So, and I also don't believe that James actually was the antagonist. It probably was LaTroy, and he was the closest person to her, and he got the wrath. But even if he did verbally assault her, at the time that your knuckles are full of rings and you decide to lay into this man's face, then I do feel, Naomi, that she needs to be held accountable. They're not going to hold her.
And I understand that. And I feel like, did you have that same opinion for Will Smith as well?
When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, my sentiments were he did not deserve to be at the Oscars and that Chris Rock needed to go ahead and press charges. That's how I felt.
Well, as long as you have the same opinion for these two situations, which are very, very, very similar, then I'll agree with you. But I feel like a lot of people are being hypocritical, and I, for one, would not want to see her go to jail over like whatever the situation one, which we still don't know because there's no videos. We don't know anything. No one's giving us details. They're all talking around in circles. And
no, James gave details. The victim said his face is messed up. She did an explanation without actually saying I hit him or not.
But did he say that she punched him?
He didn't.
Yeah, he never
and
said
this
that
is what's
she
getting weird.
Okay, hold on, Callie. I'm okay because I'm gonna let Q jump in because I feel like you're gonna have a counterpoint, and then I'll let you go, and then Star, you can jump in. Q.
Wait, I got a counterpoint or
no. I know Callie has a counterpoint, and when you get Callie and Naomi on the same panel, stuff pops off.
Oh no, I wasn't had a counterpoint. I just had more information as to why those two incidents would be handled differently legally.
Okay,
when someone is injured in California, it's a different crime, especially in LA County. So I can slap somebody right now. Police probably ain't gonna do a thing. But if I chip a tooth or they start bleeding or they have a bruise, I'm probably going to jail.
She had fled before the police got there.
Were the police ever called?
Really, the police
were
called, right?
Clearly on live, like
she said she was in a room surrounded by all of Tamar's people and they were berating her. So she probably felt like it was self-defense. Like she wanted him to get out of her face. That's what I'd be thinking. If I'm a girl in a room full of guys and they're trying to tell me, like, be rude to me, tell me all this shit that I know is like not true. You know what I mean? I would be like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's more to the situation than we're being told. And if she wasn't with her people and it was just her in the room with a whole bunch of men trying to yell at her and tell her, and obviously they're being disrespectful because look at the way that they already think about her, that he's calling her a dirty pig, like all this stuff, doesn't even want to call her a girl. Like they were probably giving that same energy when she was alone in the room with them. And because Tamar is just,
then she should have fought LaTroy.
But that doesn't mean
She
James
should have
was
fought
doing
LaTroy
that.
then if that's what she was
Yeah.
mad about. I
she
can't
said
see.
that she never had a conversation with him.
So even more, we know one person, if we're just going based on the story, we know one person was hospitalized and has been injured. We see Chrisean. Chrisean left the event, jumped in her car, and went to a party. She was unbothered. She knew that this is what Chrisean does.
Hospitalized.
We have seen Chrisean fight that woman while she was pregnant on the red carpet because she says she felt disrespected. And anytime that she has done something, she owns up to it in the sense that she feels right about it. In this situation, we have a victim who says he was in the hospital, and then we have Chrisean Rock, who is not addressing it directly. She's going all over the world. It's wicked stuff happened. What was Chrisean, were you drunk? Chrisean, were you out of control? Cue content guy, jump in.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Let me get that out the way.
For the people who just got in here, when I woke up this morning, we were at 75,000 straight shooters. So I'm so thankful.
75K.
I still need y'all to hit the like button though. So go ahead.
You'll be at 100K in no time.
I think that Tamar plays a part in this. Chrisean plays a part in this. The LaTroy guy plays a part in this. The thing about the reason why I say Tamar plays a part in this because we see how this girl acts on TV. Wherever she goes, this is how she acts. It's not anything out the ordinary. Her hitting somebody is nothing out. You know, it's like it's not shocking. It's not. Oh my God, I can't believe she did that. But Tamar knows this girl, and this happened years ago when Tamar bought T.S. Madison and Kaya up was trying to bring them to the Escape concert. Tamar does things just to do things to get some kind of like what's the word? Some kind of like a younger audience or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right word.
You can say clout. You can say it.
I don't know if I want to say. I don't even want to say clout because in my opinion, Tamar. Well, at least for me, Tamar is more famous than Chrisean. But I'm also of an older generation. I'm not a 20-plus-year-old who subscribes to Zeus. But Tamar wants to be with these girls that she is. Here's the thing, and I said this earlier. I did a video about this earlier. Tamar gets one step ahead and then two steps back. You funded your own tour. You're doing your own thing. You see how this girl acts on TV. Now you want to bring her to your show. She all on stage screaming while you trying to sing. Damn, look at that. Wow. You like, girl, shut up. I'm trying to sing. And then you won't leave the background singer alone. Tamar should know how I feel to be a background singer. She was one for the longest time. So she should know that nobody wants to be bothered at it when they try to remember their words. So we got that part. Then crazy, but I also, it's hard for me to believe that she just punched James in the face. James a big girl. So I'm just saying it's difficult to believe that. That's a big girl. Like that's a big girl. I'm just saying. So it's factors all over the place, but I feel like everybody plays a part in this. We can't just be like, oh, Chrisean, she got to go to jail for this. She got to get arrested for that. Because the girl, this is what her brand is. Her brand is fighting. Her brand is literally fighting to on TV. Zeus Network hire her to fight. Every time we see her, she's fighting somebody. So, like, you know what I'm saying? And now the only thing she said that made sense to me was where the videos at. Y'all got videos of me doing everything else. Release the videos of me punching this guy. And that's the part. We live in a day and age where technology is everywhere. Every time a fight break out, somebody got their phone out. So, guy, pull the phone out. Let us see the video. If it was me, I'd have been all up in the goddamn camera. Look what she did to me. Look at this. Look at that. All over the camera. That's just my opinion. That's how that's how I feel about it. But I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she hit him or if somebody else hit him. It's just like I said. It's just hard for me to believe that she put him in the hospital. Not saying that it can't happen, but I'm just saying
that backup singer is lucky she didn't get punched.
That's
Well,
what I'm
we
saying.
don't know.
No, she's not
Guys,
lying. She
we
didn't
don't
get
know what
punched down,
happened
but
in this video.
hold on 1 second, Callie.
Here.
Chrisean could have been musty. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Don't come up to me putting
But
your
some people
hand.
just don't like to
Hold
be
on,
hugged.
Callie. Hold on 1 second. Don't come up to me putting your arm around me without permission. Chrisean was drunk and she could have been funky. She may not believe in deodorant. Everybody don't. I got after parties to go to. This is a big event for me. I'm finally getting my chance to perform with Tamar, who may be crazy, but she's a great singer. And now I got drunky up here in my face. Her breath might have been funky. I'm with that woman. Chrisean better be glad that Chrisean didn't get punched in the face or putting her arm and harassing that woman in this moment. That's what it is.
That part is true, but
I feel like it was innocent though.
She's so off the chain, and she's such a ticking time bomb that by that girl moving her hand, she could have just went off on her. Like she's all over the place. That's why for the life of me, I do not understand why Tamar invited this girl to come on your show. On your show, and then bring her out on stage, and then you call Love and War. Like it don't even make any sense to me.
Star, go ahead and jump in, give us some sense, Star.
Hey, thank you.
So a few things.
No.
So a few things that I want to say. Too, I wanted to make a point of what you said about videos. Now, you've made a valid point, but remember when the stuff happened with Candy and Tamar, there was no visual video of that either. So I think that's kind of like, if they were behind backstage and it was only their people, could people really have time to pull out the video? Pull out their phone? No. But does the venue have a video? I'm pretty sure they do. But Mims, I wanted to go back to your original question of did we think, I think LaTroy did too much? I don't think he did. I feel like if anyone up on this panel friend had got assaulted, got attacked, anything, we would be saying way more. I respect the fact that he didn't call her a bitch, a hoe, or anything else, because he could have went there, but he didn't. He kept it real cute, in my opinion. Now, next, it's a place and time for things. I feel like without reality, what's her name? I'm sorry, BTV, saying, like her information, I always felt like Tamar is a little scared. She a little scared. I feel like she's scared of the backlash. So I feel like she told them to not say anything. And we have to think, we just talked about abuse and how abuse goes. So do y'all for 1 second think that this man doesn't feel a type of way about having to come out with this information if he really was assaulted and this girl going to jail and she's on probation? Like, I feel like he's going to feel really bad. Like, yes, it happened to him, but then he's going to face a lot of backlash because that's generally what happens when you're abused or assaulted. There's going to be some form of backlash. At the end of the day, like everyone has said, Chrisean is known for putting her hands on people unwarranted. Yes, that man is he's a big dude, but I definitely think she did something. We have to remember, what would be their point of making this story about this girl? It's one thing to not like somebody, but to go to the point of saying that you were assaulted, come on now. Ain't nobody making up that. They could have made up any other story about the girl. But to say that she physically assaulted somebody and punched their teeth out, what would be their point? And Tamar ought to be ashamed. This man sings for you. This man done put together this show for you, and you sitting back not saying nothing. Trash. She was so quick to come up when the Candy stuff happened. She threw all type of allegations out saying that Todd was an abuser, but now you're sitting back not saying nothing about the man who sings on your show. You are low. I feel like she is scared of that girl. I feel like she doesn't want to get the backlash that's going to come with it because she know Chrisean is she's ratchet, she's going to get online and she's going to drag her. So I feel like Tamar told them and pleaded with them to not say nothing, but oh boy went ahead and came out. And now, as you can see, they don't follow each other. And that's just what it is. But that's really low. This man sings for you and you don't say nothing.
Oh no, it's her best friend. Star is her literal best friend. She claims him as one of her best friends. He brought him on Tamar. Yeah.
And you go against him for Chrisean?
Because she's the talent. Tamar is
But
talent. That
no,
would be
it
that
could
would be
also
like
But
be
it's
going
that he's not
against.
telling the truth.
I feel like if Cardi B had done something like this and like back in the day, you know what I mean? Because she was a loud ghetto one back in the day, and something like this happened, which it has. Like she just got convicted of sending people to go beat up a girl that was having sex with her husband. So like she's still ghetto and ratchet like that. And I feel like if this would have happened with someone like her back in the day, maybe when she was first starting off, the powers that be would be like, you're not gonna be able to take this far because no one's gonna vouch for you. Like this is a talent and she's an up and coming talent, and like why would you want to get on her bad side? So why would anybody go and write witness statements to corroborate the guy's statement, anything like that? I feel like he was dumb for taking it to social media, especially talking about Chrisean the way that he did. Like he doesn't know where Chrisean's going to be 5 years from now. She could be a Grammy winner just like Cardi B. Like
hold on really quick, because that is actually a good point, Naomi. I hadn't even thought about. I've never agreed with you, so this is a moment, y'all. Me and Naomi go at it. The Cardi B reference. Cardi B got on literally fighting.
Yeah.
And
No,
we
she
embraced
is the
her.
new Cardi B.
But I will say this: there is a difference in people's perceptions of people who have talent as opposed to Chrisean. Chrisean's big thing is fighting. Cardi B fought, but she also had talent. And I was trying to make sense of it. Yeah, whoever has that Dorit wind chime, please turn it off.
No, not the chic one.
But yeah, that's a really good point. We do make what's the term that I'm looking for? We make excuses for people who we like. And Cardi B was fighting people. She was fighting Nicki. She was fighting people don't like Nicki. That might be part of the reason.
And Cardi B had a lot of like crappy songs before she came out with Kodak Black or whatever, Bodak Yellow. Like she had a lot of trashy songs, and like it could take Chrisean literally one song. Like she has the appearance for it. She has like the backing behind her. She has a huge fan base. Like all it takes is for one big friggin'
But she does need to be sued, just like Cardi got sued. Somebody needs to step up, and I hope it's James, and get her together. You do need to be held. Hold on one second, because I want to roundtable this. So Tam, then
can I go?
Oh wait,
I know I've been chiming in.
Oh, okay.
No, what I want to say is this. My theory is this. Obviously, Chrisean was very drunk. I've said this a very long time ago. I think she has a problem. And I don't think it's a recreational problem. I think she has a real substance abuse problem. Like, I don't think she should drink, smoke, anything. I think she's one of those people. But for her to be clean and sober, all them people in her house are probably going to leave out of her house if they can't smoke weed in it. So she's going to have to change. Her whole life would have to change. And at 23, I just don't think she's ready for that. But to me, all of this, I don't think she's slow. I don't think there's developmental issues. What I hear is alcoholism. And her father's an alcoholic, and it usually runs in the family. And I also hear a person who can't function high on weed. I follow her on Instagram. I can tell when she's high and when she's not. They're a completely different person. With putting that aside, her and Tamar have some kind of friendship. This is not a new thing. Like Tamar been following her. Tamar is always in her lives. They always going backwards and forward. So this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. My theory on what happened, because everyone's talking in circles, is that some kind of scuffle went on and James got hit in the face, and don't nobody really know who the hell hit James. That's what I think is going on here. And that's why everyone's kind of, except that one guy, not really, because why can't Chrisean say, like, look, I ain't hit nobody? Why can't James say, that woman hit me? That woman got up and punched me in my face. She hit me. Why can't he do that? Because I don't think he knows. I think that maybe someone shoved her because she was drunk and being belligerent and acting stupid. And she swung. And they started all scuffling, and James got hit in the face.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that if Chrisean had any men who pushed her or swung on her, she would have said it because that would have gave her some defense. Chrisean would have said it first off.
No, because in her mind, she didn't hit him. She doesn't know for sure if she hit him or not. So she's just not saying nothing.
I think we have enough background history on Chrisean punching Blueface.
I'm not saying she didn't swing. What I'm saying is that she was drunk. She don't know for sure if she hit this man or not. That's what I'm saying. So she's not about to get up here and admit that she hit him and she don't even remember it.
And I think it's sad too because of her previous history.
Hold on a second. Then we gotta rotate it. Tam was next, then Courtney, and Be More Shorty.
All right.
Hey, Mims, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
75,000. I wanted to start off with, I know Star is gone, but she actually had a very good possibility that maybe Tamar is afraid to speak up. But I think it's another possibility too, because Tamar is so dramatic. So what if she is just waiting because she's letting it build up because everybody's waiting to hear from her so she can make some grand statement or something? I imagine Tamar doing something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe another day or two, and then she has this video, announcement or big grand statement or something. I just wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that. But as far as Chrisean, I disagree with Naomi. I think she definitely needs to go to jail. Absolutely. Because different, I know she brought up the Will Smith thing, but that was an isolated incident. This girl has a pattern of behavior. This is a pattern for her to just be violent, often unprovoked. I believe everything LaTroy said in that video. I have no reason not to, because her history and her pattern of behavior, you would have to listen to what he said and say, yeah, that does kind of sound like Chrisean. Yeah. And she's just not accountable because nobody's ever held her accountable. It's like the public has always blamed like Blueface for her behavior and saying, oh, she was such a sweet girl before him. And that's not true. I remember when she first came on to like our TVs, or the internet, I should say, when Blueface was doing his own little version of like a Bad Girls Club. He had a house at his house. Yeah. She got kicked out. And then she broke back into the house a few times, and he had to keep having her put out, and she broke up all his things and stuff like that. She was violent and acting this way then. Then they got together.
Set his house on fire. Remember that? And didn't she like remove the batteries from the smoke alarms too?
She did. She tore his house.
Wait a minute. I think that some of this
they got together after that happened. So she was already trash, and I'm okay with calling her trash because at this point, I believe that's an accurate description. She was trash long before him, and I have no idea why she gets so much grace. So, yeah, she may have had a tough upbringing. Maybe her parents aren't that great. Okay, that's a lot of us. That's most of us. That's not going to excuse or justify anything. I never quite understood why people gave her so much grace, but will always call like Blueface trash or something like that.
Because they have both admitted that he was the one that introduced the violence in the relationship.
Let me finish,
they
please.
Both admitted
I just
that.
started saying, when I first got introduced to Chrisean, she was violent, and they were not together yet. They were not together yet, and she was
okay. No, hold on.
A little.
So they're both trash.
No, hold on. I'm gonna have to mute everybody. Hold on. So we cannot take pop shots at each other. I get it. Some people like Chrisean.
You took one at me and hurt my feelings.
It's not even about liking Chrisean. It's about.
I'm sure you will find on your channel. Hold on.
And I feel like Blueface is a monster.
Hold on, Callie.
And people make a lot of excuses for him. And
Callie,
he's a sociopath.
That's not what she was saying. She's saying that her first encounter, she might have been one of the people who did his OnlyFans and saw. I think they were called Blueface's Girls or whatever. And
you saw something that
Blue
was
Girls
by
Club.
His team. That's what you
Blue
saw.
Girls Club.
That's why people feel like people make excuses for Chrisean. I know that if I'm going to go on any of the Baddies franchises, I know what I'm getting into. If I'm going to go on Blueface's Girls, on his OF, where people just fight all day, I know what I'm getting into. We cannot say that what she's saying isn't true because you gave your interpretation of what happened backstage, and we let you, right?
That is a theory. What I'm saying is that these reality shows, they're edited to be a certain way and a certain thing. And the premise of these shows is to fight. So I don't care what she's doing on Baddies.
Callie, I'm not arguing that. I'm not disagreeing with that, Kelly, at all. Please listen. I'm not disagreeing with that. I didn't watch his show. What I saw on the internet was the other footage of her being arrested and her being put out. That wasn't part of the actual show that he was trying to do. I never
That
watched
was
the show.
afterwards when they were in a
All I was saying,
relationship.
all I was trying to say was that I saw a violent and unstable Chrisean long before they got together. That's all I was trying to say.
Gotta
No,
let her
no,
finish.
no,
She
no.
hang
No,
on,
I'm
hang
okay. I'm
on.
gonna have to mute everybody.
Blue,
We gotta let her finish.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying wrong. I'm not saying Blueface is not responsible. He is
No, I'm
trash
just
too. He is
no.
trash too.
I was
Please
just
let
saying
me
they were
finish.
in a
Please let me
relationship all
finish.
those times that you're
Please
talking about,
let
her
me
trying to
finish.
burn the house down, all that stuff. They were already dating, so that was already domestic. Like he was violent with her, and she
I
was
didn't
violent.
even bring that up. Mims brought that
I
up. I
did. I
didn't
brought
even
it
say
up.
that. I didn't even say that. Again, all I'm saying is she has been trash, and I'll stand on that. It's nobody else's fault. No one did this to her, or it's someone else's influence. She's been this terrible type of person she's shown us, and I don't feel like she's been held accountable thus far because there's always been somebody else to blame for her behavior. But now these past couple incidents, she hasn't been with him. She's been doing this all on her own. So now everybody has to look at her and say, it's really just her. It's not somebody else.
She
It's
also
really
just had a
her.
baby, so there's postpartum.
Okay, well, let's talk
So
about that
that's
Y'all,
too. The girl should
honestly,
not
that's
have
she's
a
an
baby. Let's
alcoholic.
not bring
that's.
that up
Just
because
not the
that's a
baby.
whole nother issue. She
What
really
about
shouldn't
when
have a
can you
baby.
have postpartum while the baby is in utero? Because she
Y-
punched that girl on the red carpet
Yes,
while she was
you
pregnant, and
can.
while
Yeah,
she was also still drinking and still rolling
yes,
up.
you can
Smoking.
have post. It's like
So
postpartum depression when you're pregnant, pregnancy depression afterwards. Yes, it's a serious
Pre
thing, and
postpartum.
she was already
okay,
unstable. So let's imagine her hormones now.
okay.
Again,
Y'all, she's an
here we go with the
addict, and
grace.
this is addict
We
behavior, and
No,
she
we
is
had
a
that's a
never.
psychopath.
that's
Okay, so
another
Naomi
excuse.
is diagnosing her with
That's
pre
another excuse.
postpartum,
It's
and
not
No,
you're
no,
addiction.
I'm
Well,
diagnosing her
it's
not.
with
I'm
an
just saying it's a
postpartum.
addiction.
Well, it's
possibility.
this. Well,
It's a
it's that.
possibility.
The girl
Courtney,
is
go ahead,
trash. How many excuses we gonna give her?
Courtney, jump in. Courtney,
I'm kind of scared to jump in because Tam was making great points. Whether you agree with her or not, everybody had a chance to speak, and they're not even letting her speak and get her full point across. And it's not funny because y'all all adults up here. If she's speaking and you don't agree with what she's saying, it's okay. It's okay to have your opinion, but let her speak. Let her speak her piece because you had your turn. But it's just like people are it's out of control now. When you're an adult, you are now in control of your life, and the excuses at some point have to stop. I'm not talking about it's a male or female thing. When I first saw Blueface and Krishan from day one, I said it's both. People have always put the brunt of the responsibility on him because he's male. From day one, I said it's both of them. You can tell they're trauma bonding. Both of them have major issues. People don't give Blueface grace because he's a man, but y'all will dog walk his mom for her antics, but she's the one that raised him. So y'all can see where he gets a lot of his traumas from because we see his mom in real time. But nobody gives him grace because he's a man. But Krishan gets all the grace in the world for acting a plumb fool each and every time she does something because she's female. No, Krishan needs to be held accountable. What I think happened, and people are starting to act like they don't understand reads and they don't understand shade. We sit up here on these panels and listen to you talk about reality shows all the time and how they read and shade each other. What LaTroy was doing was being shady while he was reading Krishan. So yes, if he was sitting there I feel like if he was sitting there with his emotions intact and spoke, it would have probably came across different. But he was on high emotion and he was being shady and he was giving her a read. So some of the things came across. That's what we were getting. But I don't think his story was a lie. I think what he was saying was absolutely correct. Krishan assaulted someone. James, I don't feel like James was provoked. I feel like Krishan came drunk high with her entourage when she got backstage. I feel like she wanted to make an example. Krishan beats Blueface up and down the stairs, bloody his noses, beats his head in, give him busted lips, and y'all think she's scared to bust James up? Why? Y'all done seen her fight a man. Y'all done seen her bust Blueface up and down. Why she scared to bust James up with them rings on her finger? Why? Why is she scared? Why did she post? Why did she go as soon as it was over? The first story that was over. Why did she post them rings on her finger to let y'all know? Yeah, play with me, play with me. This what you gonna get. She know her hands. She know her hands are something to be reckoned with because that's what she uses. She know that's what she's good at. Instead of using it for something maybe like a boxing career that can make her some money and get her some real notoriety, she uses it she's channeling her energy in the wrong way. So yes, I feel like she did it. Tamar, I feel like Tamar holds a brunt of a lot of this because she could come up and say something. But I agree with the caller. I feel like she's waiting for a moment because Tamar and Chrisean are the same. They're the same type. Tamar is just older and more successful. But Tamar is with the dramatics, because if somebody assaulted my best friend that has been working for me for a long time, we got to talk about this. I'm not letting this slide. I'm not letting my production manager or whatever LaTroy was take the fall for, let him be humiliated on the internet because I'm trying to. What are you protecting Chrisean from? Herself? Everybody wants to protect Chrisean. It doesn't, with anything in life, whether it's a drug addiction, whether it's alcohol addiction, whatever it is, whatever you have to get together in your life, it doesn't start until that very person themselves decides that they need to get the help. It doesn't matter how much you see their potential, how much you see they can be great, how much you see you want to extend grace to them until they decide themselves that this is what I want for myself. It doesn't matter what you do. It's gonna fall on deaf ears until they decide that it's time for them to do. And because the internet, and it's just the state that we're in the world. The world is so, times have, I'm 30, I'm getting ready to be 38. Times have changed so much. I'm fearful for my children because times have changed so much, and the dynamic and people's mental states have changed so much that they defend the most ludicrous things. Like, what are you defending? If she didn't assault that man, why has she not come out and said I did? She don't remember. You don't remember hitting him. If she didn't hit him, she can come out and say I did not hit him. The man clearly went on his live and said he did not post. He's always on live with his face shown. He did not post his face for a reason. Because obviously it's messed up. She hit that man. She fought that man. LaTroy was being shady and doing a read when he was being a bit dramatic, but he's giving Tamar. That's how Tamar acts. He's giving her. So, he was being a bit dramatic, but I think his account of the story is correct due to Chrisean's history, and there's no excuses for her. Stop making excuses for her. She's grown, and until she's held accountable and get the right people around her that's going to teach her accountability, and stop running to Blueface every time something happens. Because the rebuttal she gave, that's a typical Blueface, and oh, you don't have no footage, so that's the same thing he said until she learned how to unlock those messages. Until she learned how to retrieve her deleted messages. That's the same thing he was saying. You don't have no proof. You don't have no. Then she came with the proof. So that's probably a tactic to see what y'all got. Do y'all have something so y'all can, prove me wrong? She did it. She did whatever them folks said she did. She did it, and she needs to be held accountable. She knew she had a baby when she went up there acting a fool. Stop saying she got a baby. She know what she got. She had it. She carried it. She knows she's a mother. She knows she's a mother when she does dumb things.
She
And
got the
mothers
curriculum
sometimes
wrong.
have to be held accountable.
Hold on,
That's
guys.
not a
I'm sorry.
dispute either.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see I had these super chats. Does the chat move pretty fast? Jasmine Carson said she just said Tamar said she could come out. She didn't say perform. That's why I'm confused. Was she there to perform or not? Two sides of the story. Chrisean says she was there to perform and that her team knew that she was there to perform. Tamar's team said no, she was not there to perform. We don't know. And like a couple people have said, we really need to hear from Tamar, because had it been, a Candy situation, Tamar would have came out that same night. So it's a good point. Thank you, Jasmine. Phil Good said, what is the correct punishment? Jail. Thank you, Phil Good. Camille, can you drop the link again? I will, because I'll be rotating the panel in a couple moments. I'll definitely drop the link again. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just gonna say, I know you have Be More Shorty hasn't spoken yet. When you get through I was just gonna say one more thing, and then I'm gonna drop off to let more people come up.
Sure.
I'm just waiting for Be More Shorty to speak.
Thank you, Camille. So I will be dropping that link. Sarcasm69, I like your name. Says, I can't believe this girl's defending Chris. She has built her brand on violence. Will and Chris deserve applicable consequences. Chris's should be jail. And if, she's on probation, it might just be. Thank you, Sarcasm69. That's a really good name. Nobody will forget that one.
That
Paige.
was sarcasm, right? That was clearly sarcastic. Thank you.
Paige, panel, take notes so you won't lose your thought. Then address them when it's your turn. All right, Paige.
Thank you, Paige.
Paige and Courtney up here schooling us. Thank you, Paige. Okay, so that was it. Be More Shorty and then Really.
Hello, everybody. I'm sitting here watching the Ravens game. We just we got a touchdown. So anyway, you got an instigator and an agitator. Tamar is definitely both. Chrisean, all she know is all my life I had to fight, and she really doesn't. I don't think that it was a tussle between her and James. She might have probably was too drunk and high or what have you, and pushed him. And because she's to blame easily, she got the blame, and now everybody is pointing, pitchforks at her. And I'm not saying she's squeaky clean, but I think this girl needs a monitoring device and to stay home with her son. Her son needs more attention than anything. And if he supposedly has these problems, address these problems with your baby. Stay at home with your kid. Like, this child not even half a year old. And you out here twerking and showing your bottom. And girl, look, I'm about to shoot my shot to Chrisean and see if I can watch that baby. Because her parents ain't liable. Her sisters are not liable as well. Y'all cannot fix this girl's life. She has to fix it herself. And having that baby by Blue is not helping her. Babies really can't always help,
Imagine her on Iyanla.
That's not gonna work because they both gonna be fighting, just like how DMX was on there with Iyanla. They both butting heads terribly. Everybody can't sit down with Iyanla. I mean, see how Tamar was acting out with her. She's an agitator and an instigator. And Miss Evelyn had to shut her bald head self up.
No, a lot of therapists have complained about Iyanla. The stuff that she does is actually not healthy. It's for entertainment.
Iyanla just gets a check from Oprah because she's a alkie herself.
Yep.
So, but I mean, seriously, Chrisean has to fix Chrisean. And again, I'm gonna shoot my shot to go and get CJ because that baby needs some love and help. She could drop that baby off my house. She ain't got to send it to her sisters and them. And I live in Baltimore City. And the Braxtons are not from Baltimore City. They are from Severn, Maryland.
Okay.
In the county. Only time Tamar has been into the city is to sing for church. And it's not even close to the city. It's in Randallstown. Because I always see Mr. Michael all the time and Miss Wanda. And they are very pleasant too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Be More Shorty. If Chrisean comes to your house after seeing this video, she gonna bring you a fist, not a baby.
And I'm gonna beat her ass too. I don't care. How about that one? I'm old enough to be her mother.
Somebody needs to go get that baby.
Because her family's not helping her. It's just wrecking her even worse. Like it's not going to take her intervention. It's going to take her to be offline, no parties, sit in their house with a monitor.
And how will she pay her bills?
Yeah,
like
she's
y'all,
not gonna ever do that.
Blue going to pay them because Blue put her in this situation.
Got no damn money. He losing his properties. Like
Blue's
I
actually
think that
about
we gotta
to be
be realistic about this. This is how she makes money.
Well, Stewie out there bopping and that, so he got some kind of coin from her.
Ain't about to be no next big thing. I mean, people. I just really feel like people don't understand that this is her living, and this is what happens to a lot of entertainers. This is why they can't get clean and sober because they can't get out of these environments and make money.
Well, apparently she's doing good with her streams with this screaming music that she's doing. and she's going to get some royalties from this baddies series. So she got a little bit of coin coming through.
It's gonna take CPS coming in to really threaten to take that child from her. I think that baby, if there was some real consequences when it came to her motherhood and that baby, that would be the catalyst to really make her take a look at herself. I don't think anybody else can do that, because for all we know, her friends and family are talking to her and they are trying to get her to settle down and calm down. We really don't know, but I think if CPS really came in, which I'm
So now
surprised,
you
I'm
want her
surprised
baby
they
to get
didn't.
taken.
Yeah,
I
see, this is
said
the thing.
Good
That
Lord.
baby is not going to be taken as long as she has
Lord.
that money.
I didn't
That baby
necessarily
is
say
going to be
taken.
raised by a nanny like a lot of these other drunk, high entertainers.
But they need to step in and make a couple visits. She needs to
They
see that it's
probably
a
have plenty
reality
of time.
that
It's going to take a
needed to
tragedy for Chrisean to pay
Yes.
attention.
Krishan,
Yes.
it has
Hold
to.
on,
She
really,
has
hold
It's
on,
going to take a serious tragedy
really
for
jump in.
Chrisean to pay
Yes.
attention.
Really jump in. You said you had a retort.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta-
gonna just say something. I'm gonna drop down because I know other people may want to come up. I just wanted to say really quickly that for as far as I think some of the things we need to put into perspective, at least for me, we need to put into perspective when and it was already addressed a little bit by Tam, when we, it doesn't take much to hit somebody if they're not expecting to be punched. I don't really think it matters how big James is. If he was standing there not expecting to get punched, it only takes one punch. And with those rings on her finger, it only takes one punch. The second thing is, from my understanding, from what was told to me, his nose would not stop bleeding. It's not that she hit him 5 or 6 times. She punched him in the face. It chipped his tooth. His nose would not stop bleeding. And that is when he went to the emergency room. So I just want to I think things become bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think people are picturing this like Chrisean jumped on him and beat him down. And it was one punch, from my understanding. The other thing is this happened in Tamar's dressing room. There may not have been
Exclusive information.
My members already got this information yesterday. If you're a member on my channel, you already got this information yesterday. But it was in Tamar's dressing room. So I think when we think of the videos, those were planned videos. Those were, everybody was in on the video. But after the show, in the dressing room, a lot of times that's a cell phone free zone. So there may not be footage. It just but I think, I don't want to offend anybody when I say this, but I think we have to use some deductive reasoning at a certain point. We have to use some deductive reasoning, you guys. So, but Star, you said no cameras in the venue. I'm talking about in her dressing room. That is her private dressing room space. I'm not saying this, Mims, I'm not saying this to sound like whatever, but if you've ever been backstage of a show, there are areas where there are no cameras because people are changing their clothes, people are getting in and out of makeup and hair and all of that. Tamar might have been getting out of her wigs. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Hold on, really. What people are trying to say is there's footage from the dressing room. That was Chrisean's personal footage. Chrisean probably was allowed to do whatever she wanted, and we saw Chrisean go live like she does. But what really is saying is just like in a locker room, just like in a dressing room at a clothing store, you're not going to have actual cameras there because why would the venue be able to see Tamar's titties? Why would if Tamar is changing, quick changes, people, really has a point here. There's not going to be footage unless somebody pulled out the phone. And maybe this happened so quickly, the exchange, people couldn't pull out the phones. I'm assuming that's where you're going with that.
Right. So, I mean, people are going to believe what they want to believe. We know that. People have opinions, and that's what it is. But I just wanted to say that. I thank you, ma'am. I'm going to drop off because I know, people are just going to think what they're going to think. And that's fine. Again, that's what makes the world go round. Thank you, ma'am, for having me up here. Thank you, guys. And I'm going to drop off so somebody else can come on up.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and I have to because I gotta rotate the panel out. Thank you, everybody.
You finish.
Thank you. I'm gonna drop off too. Thanks.
All right, thank you guys for coming. What were you saying?
Hi guys.
I think that everybody's saying this is like her friend and all this kind of stuff. We don't know what kind of friendship they have. We also know Tamar is like everybody's been saying, she's a very dramatic person. She's always been dramatic. But I think that I don't personally think Chrisean is going to go to jail because this is what she does on a daily basis, whether she's getting paid for it or not. This is literally what she does. She goes and fights people. She acts up. Everywhere she goes, this is just basically what she does. So her going to jail, I don't think it's going to solve the issue. If anything, I think it's going to make her worse when she gets out of jail because all she's going to do is have built up, pent up energy that she wasn't able to let loose. I'm not saying what she did was right, but this is just the day and age that we live in where she has a fan base. People subscribe to see her. When she was on that red carpet and punched that girl in the face, nobody thought twice about it. They was like, "Oh, that's just Chrisean." Just like with this story, they like, "Oh, that's just her." Like jail, prison, whatever she go to, I don't think it's going to change nothing. Honestly, I think this is just who she is. She's not going to change unless, like B-Mo Shorty said, unless something tragic happens. Unfortunately, and I hate to say that because I don't want anything tragic to happen to anybody, no matter how I feel about them. But her family condones the behavior because she is kind of the bread, that she provides for the family as much as she probably can. And this is the area she grew up in. This is how she acts, and she gets paid to act like this. And Tamar loved it. That's why Tamar invited her to the show. That's why Tamar follows her and does this and that. Tamar loved that hood ass behavior that she herself does not have, but she wants to pretend that she does. So I think, and at the end of the day, everybody, I'm not going to say James, I don't know, but I think a lot of people play a part in this other than just her.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I definitely agree with the Tamar stuff.
Yeah, Tamar's an agitator and an instigator. So I mean, look at the many times when it was always on that show that they had with everybody on the family. Tracy always stood her ground. Tracy never held her tongue until her husband say, don't push it, don't do this, don't do that.
Rest in peace,
Tracy was right, and Tracy was the one, to trying to bring the family together, but they always, oh, I want to do this and oh, I want to do that, and Tracy's always been the black sheep of the family.
Well,
but she still carried on.
Hold on, guys, because I gotta rotate the panel out. I want to get to the super chat, and then this is the order that we're gonna go in because we're not gonna do like the back and forth. I just want you guys to be able to say your piece. So it'll start with Camille, Brittany, Unpopular Opinion, Shanisa, Timeless, Autumn's Mom, and we're gonna end with Demi. So okay, I'm sorry, but I gotta jump to Camille so she can, because I know Camille has been waiting.
Hi.
Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Really quickly, Marty1003 says, not y'all giving her the Tory treatment, acting like she ain't violent when she has a known history of violence. Okay, then I'm so glad Naomi is off this panel because Naomi on you for that. Thank you, Marty. Camille, jump in.
Hey, Mims. Love your channel. You are just a beautiful person. You radiate positive energy. So for one, I just want to say that. Chrisean, on the other hand, does not radiate that same positive energy, unfortunately. It's sad. I am kind of sick of the excuses. Honestly, like, I'm happy to be up here, but like, it was the lady before, the one that kept getting interrupted. She kind of said everything I wanted to say. But I do feel like with Tamar, weren't you just talking about a few weeks ago how scared you were, how you didn't feel protected? Like, to me, that kind of just went out the window with this situation, because my thing is, if you're so scared and you don't feel protected, why are you putting yourself and the people that you claim you love in situations to be assaulted, and putting them with people who have a violent history? You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. If I feel unsafe, I'm gonna do my show. I'm gonna make sure like the people around me have good vibes. I'm not gonna invite like a Chrisean Rock type person to my show if I'm claiming that I feel unsafe, because Tamar said that from her own mouth. So that's the only part I don't get.
I mean, that's fair. I feel like a lot of people embrace Chrisean because they know her background, because, and this is not necessarily how I feel, but if I'm looking at somebody who I see has some struggles, I see they're in with some people feel she's in an abusive relationship. I feel like they are in a relationship where they both have, domestic violence against each other. But people do raise her up because they feel like she, needs that kind of support. So it's not necessarily how I feel, but I've been following Chrisean since Blueface's Girls or whatever it was called. And I do see where people have had similar situations and they want to uplift her. But at this point, you're doing her a disservice. You're doing her a disservice because she is going to end up in real trouble. And then there won't be anybody for that baby because Blueface ain't nothing. And yeah, she's already on probation and Blueface is embroiled in his own pow situation. So it's bad for all.
And that's the thing. Can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing for me. Like, you're on probation for one. I don't know the terms of the probation, but I think it said like you're supposed to obey federal laws. So if she was smoking weed is illegal federally. It's legal in certain states, but on a federal level, it's illegal. I don't know if she can be drinking. I don't know if you can be, hitting people while you're on probation. So it's like, why are you putting yourself in these situations when you're already, your back's already up against the wall with a 10-year sentence, I think, or a 4-year sentence. Sorry. And another thing, I've been in a domestic violence situation, but for me, it wasn't a situation where we both were abusing each other. I was getting my beat, if you get what I'm saying. So, but with her, it's like Chrisean, like she just does too much. She goes too far for me, and she doesn't know when to stop. She doesn't have any impulse control, or she doesn't have any control of her emotions. And like the lady said before, she acts out when Blue is not there. So it's like Blueface is a very toxic human, but Chrisean Rock is a toxic human in her own right at the end of the day.
I hear you. Thank you so much, Camille, and thank you for being patient.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Brittany,
I have
you're
a
next.
question and then I'll drop off. Was it just one tooth that James had knocked off, or two or three?
According to Really B, it was one punch that got his nose bleeding nonstop and one tooth that was damaged.
Well, he need to ask Krishan for that tooth she not using anymore because she already got a new one. He'll be all right. He don't do nothing but hair, right? He could put a mask on his face and do the hair, press and curl, and all that other stuff. He better start singing some more pies and stuff to the season. All right, I'm off.
Bye, be more shorty. Brittany, you're up.
Hi, Mims. Hi, everybody. So I just two things. I do totally agree that we have to hold Chrisean accountable in every right, but I also think that we not we, the general public, in some ways expect something of her. Coming to the show last night, I think it was expected of her to give the theatrics. Not saying that she's not toxic. She definitely knows what she's doing. She definitely plays the game well. But I will say that sometimes trauma internalizes into people in a lot of different ways. Not to get too long-winded, but I think sometimes people make a generalization when it comes to domestic disputes. For example, a guy and a girl who fights each other back is not considered domestic as much as a guy beating a woman or a woman just beating a guy. So I think in Chrisean's whole thing, I think some people in the public, like you said, come to bat for her because without really saying it, we can see the personal struggles that she's going through. And we definitely did see her on Blueface Girls. I mean, yeah, Blueface Girls, and we watch her on Zeus. And I think some people literally just think that's her, and they don't give that much, how do you say, accountability to the editors. I think Chrisean on Zeus Network, especially, I think they say to you like, "Hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z," and she's like, "Okay, whatever, I'm down." But I just think it may be this situation. I think we're missing something here. I'm not saying that situation didn't encounter, but I feel like we're missing a part of the story. And one of your callers has said before she can see how it was a scuffle and not really knowing who hit, but the outcome is that this guy has a missing tooth. Tamar doesn't give me quiet on no level. If something happens around Tamar, she's always ready to say it, armed to say it with whatever receipts she deems is valid. I do find it odd that she hasn't come and clear the air. I also find that it's odd that she wanted Chrisean there because she doesn't fit the love and war bill. So it's almost as if Tamar was okay with the theatrics, but then now that this big scenario happened, so to speak, now she's kind of like, I don't know what to do. Is it fair to not take up for your friend? Absolutely not. And I think just like anybody else said, if it was my friend, I'd be ready to go wherever for my friend. But I also think that we have to connect the dots a little bit. And it just seems as if nobody really remembers the exact details of that night, except for what they can see in the footage. And I only say that to say when you're heightened and you're in the thick of it, sometimes you forget minor details, and then certain things helps you recall that memory.
Brittany,
But
she is not the love and war girl. Chrisean is the hot sugar girl. She does
no,
love and war because she can sing hot. I think that eternally, Chrisean is that woman's spirit animal.
Like
She has to
Tamar's
do
spirit,
balance.
yeah, she
Yes.
probably is like that.
She's
So
a
I
hot
think,
sugar girl.
but I just think that the whole Love and War album, like your whole music, how does Chrisean fit that bill for that? Like, what turn up is needed to sing Love and War?
You must not have watched my video from a couple days ago. Tamar brought out Kaya to do My Neck and My Back when she was performing the same songs. Like, that's what she wants. She wants, that is her brand. She is, she does love, she has a great voice, one of the best voice, but who she is internally, if she could do pop lock and drop it type music, that's what she would do. That's her.
You think so? I just think that, like, if you were bringing out this grand 4-city tour that you needed everybody to come to, why not get another R&B artist to join your thing, or special guests like that? Like, did you want some sort of outlandish reaction with Chrisean?
Tamar likes drama.
That is true, but okay. Thank you so much, Brittany. No, that's Tamar. It is who she is. If she can do My Neck and My Back, she can bring out Chrisean. And that was, she brought My Neck and My Back out when My Neck and My Back was fighting with Candy, and it was a escape thing. So that's who she is. She's constantly gonna look for a moment. The next person was Unpopular Opinion.
Hey everybody, congratulations on your milestone, Mims.
Thank you.
A couple of things. One, I think that everybody needs to stop helping Chrisean, because none of these people who are trying to help her are professionals, and she needs trained professional help. My second thing was, where is Tamar? Tamar, where you at? Somebody call Miss Evelyn. Get Miss Evelyn out of church and get Miss Evelyn on the line. Where is Tamar? Because Tamar, you kind of need to say something. This is your brand, your tour, your friend. Where you at, girl? You letting everybody comment, but you're not saying nothing. That's not a good look. And my last comment was, earlier people, we were talking about, well, Chrisean could be this star. She could potentially be this star. Just because you have potential does not give you an excuse to show bad behavior. We have to stop allowing people who display horrible behavior to reach heights to influence others. you know, just fighting people for the sake of just saying, well, you hit somebody and fighting them. That's not a good thing. We have to stop being okay with inappropriate behavior and just getting into random fights because someone said something that you don't like. It's not a reason to physically assault them. Like, we have to get out of that mindset. If somebody says something to us, oh, I'm just going to slap you. No, that may not be right. Because if James would have hit her, it would have been a different story. And we just need to stop the cap. Like, it's too many excuses being made. She's never said she didn't hit him. She's responding to the guy's video, but he said you hit him. And in your video, you're not saying that you didn't hit anyone. So that makes me think that you did do it. And somebody mentioned Tory Lanez earlier in one of the super chats. Yeah. Tori, you never said you never shot Megan. You said everything else, but I didn't shoot Megan. So you did shoot her. And that's why you're guilty. Chrisean, you never said you didn't hit James. So you probably did hit James and you're guilty. And that's all I got.
Can't hear you, Mims.
Thank you. Nicole says no TMZ, no video, 105-pound girl beating up a 275-pound man. Cap, like the kid in the middle of the street. False lighting. I haven't heard that one before. All right, Nicole, I'm gonna have to look up false lighting. I might sue the friend as an ordinary person for lying to the public. So I think it's safe to say Nicole is Team Chrisean. I will say this: Blueface can fight. He's getting in the boxing ring and he can really fight. He punched her dad out and everything, and she literally blacked his eye. And he's much bigger than her. Chrisean can fight. If anything, Chrisean can lay hands, and so can her sister. So, but thank you for the super chat, Nicole. And I think the next person was Shanisa, then Autumn's mom, then Timeless will close us out.
Hey, Mims. So,
Hey.
congrats on everything.
Thank you.
Just say for this, the only person I blame, honestly, is Tamar. I feel like there are certain people in the entertainment industry who have no self-control, no self-awareness, and anytime they go viral, it's usually for creating chaos. And I feel like that is Chrisean's brand. Tamar is an R&B singer. She's had Candace Dillard-Bassett on her tour. She's had Drew Sidora on her tour. You just mentioned she had Kaya come out and perform. Nothing about this tour has been blog worthy. There's been literally no discussion about this tour whatsoever. So what do? You have someone who is half your age. I don't even know how old Chrisean is. I don't even know how old Tamar is. She's got to be knocking at 50 at this point. You have someone who's about half your age come out and do your bidding. You cannot make me believe that Chrisean knows. You can't make me believe Chrisean knows one Tamar Braxton song. I saw her on stage with Tamar while Tamar was performing Love and War, and literally Chrisean was just on stage. Yeah, come on. Like, what? Why is she here? So you have someone come out that's going to do your bidding, and you're going to hype them up. You're going to give them an unlimited supply of alcohol in the back, probably. They're going to come with their own medicines, if you know what I mean. And they're going to find that viral moment. But I do agree. How is it that there are so many people backstage? Everyone has their phone out, and there's literally no footage of this moment. It just makes me side-eye things. But again, I just blame Tamar. I just feel like she wants to have a moment. She wants to go viral, but she really can't do it on her own with this tour. Her man just left her. Candy and Todd not studying her. So what do? You bring Chrisean out. You have her do her thing, and here we are today talking about Tamar. That's all, Mims. I appreciate you bringing me up.
That's an interesting point. Thank you. I definitely appreciate you coming up. I think the next one was Autumn's mom.
Hey, Mims, how you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm here. I'm realizing the more and more that I'm starting to hate this internet stuff because to me it's wild. People come on here to be they disagree just to be disagreeable. Um, I respect everybody's opinions, but a lot of the opinions are based on not the facts that we know them to be as of yet. For one, I think it's logical to understand why there hasn't been any footage released of it yet because, like Willie B tried to explain to people, this happened in a personal dressing room inside of a venue. So it would have had to be someone's personal phone that happened to be out in an instant when nobody was expecting her to hit this man, if that's in fact what happened, to break out their cameras. And then who would have been in the dressing room? Who would have had access to the dressing room after the show? It would have been the entourages, right? So right now, because this thing is turning quote unquote legal, don't you think that everybody would have been told to hold on a second? Because what's the first thing everyone's doing right now? Now they went from this being a Chrisean and James thing to now it's Tamar's fault. Now I can see why it looks weird that Tamar invited her to come, and what does Tamar have in common with her? And she's ratchet and she's known for this, that, and the third. All of that is true. Tamar may have invited her because, like you've been saying, she's Tamar, or what Tamar's spirit animal would be. She probably sees a lot of herself in Chrisean, i.e., they're single mothers, they both from Baltimore, as well as she would have got something out of it, which would have been a younger demographic being put onto her music and introduced to her, which possibly could then garner her new fans and new followers and so on and so forth by inviting Chrisean. So to me, I think Tamar did it for business reasons. Now, did she think that Chrisean was going to assault anybody? I don't think so. Did she think, let alone that she was going to assault her best friend? I would definitely think, of course not. If anybody, did she think that someone close to her would have got it assaulted? I think the buck stops with Chrisean and Chrisean alone. Now, I have said in the past, I gave her grace with the whole baby and Walmart thing, saying, well, she's a new mother, she's postpartum, and somebody needs to help her because maybe she don't know this, that, and the third. But what we do know for sure is that Chrisean has a history of violence. That is her brand. And that's what she doesn't seem to have grown out of. So is it far-fetched to think that an altercation ensued? No. We see the rings and stuff that she had on her hand. One punch can definitely cause the injury that they're saying. So why is everybody bending over backwards to make excuses for somebody that's not even trying to make excuses for themselves? To me, it's weird and it's irresponsible. So as a whole, if we're going to blame Tamar, then we need to blame ourselves in society for bigging people up and thinking and making them think that this behavior is acceptable, and that's why they keep doing it. With that clip you normally play with Wanda Sykes, I'm sick of this. That's how I feel right now. This to me is madness. All of a sudden it turns into, let's blame the victim. Let's blame the victims. Let's blame the victims. No, people need to learn how to act, take responsibility for their own actions, and do better. Now, what Naomi was on here before and trying to make the equivalent between Will Smith and Chrisean Rock. The difference is, first off, everybody was surprised that this had even happened with Will Smith because that wasn't in his character. That's not what people ever thought was part of his brand. They didn't expect that to happen. Now, even then, I was one of the ones that said, hey, I can see how someone can snap. It doesn't make it right. So whatever he should be held responsible in some kind of way, and that should be left up to Chris. If he feels as though he wants to press charges, then charges should be pressed. If he feels as though he wants to sue him, then he needs to sue him. He needs to decide as the victim what he wants to be done. It shouldn't be left up to quote unquote the public to decide what he should feel okay with having for the consequences of being assaulted. So in this case, I feel the same way. James should say what he wants to be done. If he wants the girl to go to jail, let her go to jail. If he wants to sue her, then sue her. But at the end of the day, I think that choice remains with him.
Okay, and I got something for you.
I I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, Satra, I'm so glad you're here. Satra being my DM, Satra be holding me accountable. I told y'all I was going to have a party, and no matter what happens, this Friday we are having the party. All those things that have just been sitting on my shelf for the giveaways, I don't know anymore, the Versace tumbler, the whatever, all of it, the $400 toothbrush, that will happen this Friday no matter what. It might be a Hot Topics thing, but we are doing our big celebration this Friday. So be here Friday evening. Probably sometime around like 6 or 7 Central. All those giveaways will be there. The Versace tumbler thing, that's not going to be given away till we hit 10,000 on Instagram. And I think we have like 200 more people to go. So it's Make It Make Sense Now on Instagram. If you guys can make that happen where we hit 10,000 on Instagram by Friday, that Versace water tumbler thing will be anybody's game to get. That'll be just one of the free giveaways that I'm doing on that big celebration. So Satra, thank you for the super chat. She says, congrats on 75K subscribers, Mims. And thank you for staying on me because, I got a lot going on in my life. So I don't, I be trying to do what I say I can, but between everything going on, sometimes it gets hard. But Friday, big celebration. Nicole Harris, guilty with no trial, jury, or investigation. Nicole is not getting off our necks. I'm glad that we have some Chrisean supporters because she has a big fan base, 5 million on Instagram. She's now a Fashion Nova influencer. She's keeping her own money. Blueface was taking it initially. So, thank you for the super chat. Timeless, you are here to close us out.
Well, first I want to say congratulations, Mims. That's a great step for you.
Thank you.
Second, I want to say Tamar. All publicity is not good publicity. We know she like drama. She like attention. We know that's what she likes. It is what it is. Chrisean brought it. She knew she was going to bring it. And we got to remember, Chrisean is the cash cow right now. Everybody going to try to use her for how they can use her to benefit from her. For whether it's more subscribers, publicity, money, whatever. They're going to use her for that any way they can. She needs a mentor. She needs somebody around her that can kind of get her to a place where she is realizing what she's doing is not conducive for her and her child. I thought she was in a place like that when I was watching her, and I was like, Be More, I think, was talking to her and her on her show with her friend. I mean, a lot of people have reached out to this little girl, but one thing we got to remember, she is a little girl who's gotten a lot of money for doing nothing. And when I say nothing, because fighting to me is not something, that's nothing. Anybody can fight. Anybody can be ignorant. Anybody can act up. Anybody can do that. What she is doing and making money off of, you got to blame the public for. They're liking it. They're cheering it. Yeah, she's had a hard life. A lot of people have had a hard life, and they don't get paid for it. They get consequences. And I'm not saying she should go to jail, but I'm saying she needs a mentor. Because whether it's producers, family members, friends, all of them have a hand in this. Nobody is stopping anything from happening with this young lady. And if you keep...
Because we're telling her that she cannot behave like this, but it's not realistic, Timeless. It's not realistic in this day and age. We have seen people who have fought for a living, i.e. Jocelyn, find a new home in Zeus. That's how she's going to continue to behave because that is what has made her a household name. And although you could want more from her, the public is not going to stop. They eat it up, and probably 10 years from now, there'll be something worse than Zeus out there. So,
and that's my point.
you made my point. As long as the public idolizes this and love it, oh, the drama. These are people's real life. It's not just a TV show. Because after it's over, it's not over for them. They're still doing it. They're still drunk. They're getting liquored up, and they're thinking this is okay. She didn't have a good life being the way she was raised. Again, she needs help. She needs a mentor. She needs somebody to really get her some help. And I'm not saying she shouldn't be held accountable. Maybe jail will help her. I don't know. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a psychologist. All I can do is from what I see. And she doesn't have anybody, from what I can see, that has that relationship with her where she will listen. And she needs that. Regardless of how much people don't like her, can't stand her, whatever, she needs that. Because if tomorrow you get up and, God forbid, knock on wood, we hear she has died, everybody, oh my God, oh, my heart is hurting. Yeah, but your heart wasn't hurting yesterday. The girl needs some help. What she did wasn't right. And however the help comes, it needs to come for her sake and her baby's. Thank you for letting me talk. Y'all have a good day.
You have a good one, Timeless. Thanks for coming up. Brown Gal Peace Lounge. Congratulations on the growth of your channel, King. More blessings to come. Thank you, Brown Gal. I appreciate that. Did I say that with an accent? Sometimes Louisiana comes out of me, y'all. So you gotta give me a sometimes it just kind of Satra. Mims, you need and deserve 2 wives. Stop sleeping. So you want me to be Nick Cannon out here in these streets? Okay, Satra. Thank you for the super chat. And I think I got one more. I think we had one more, but this chat moved pretty quickly. I think that was it. Okay, y'all. So this was real. If more stuff comes out, as soon as Tamar comes out with her final statement, we definitely will be talking about this again. Thank you, everybody who came out. Again, Q has a channel. Really B has a channel. And I don't know if anybody else who was up here on the panel has a channel. But I got to go eat. I'm starving. I then went to the gym. I'm trying to do 2024 right. So you got to start working on your body in 2023. So have a good day, y'all. Thank you guys for being respectful of each other. I know this is a hot button topic, and I'm going to see you guys later. I better see y'all Friday because those giveaways are completely free. Some are for members only, but some are just for the general public. And I probably will do some like cash apps too for both members and the general public. So you want to be there live for that. See y'all later. Have a good one.
Thank you, man. Congratulations.